examination format. So again, there are 4 components. We have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. The degree of difficulty in the IELTS examination is always incremental. The listening examination is the easiest among all because what you hear is what you need to write down as your answer. Only in the later part of the examination would you need to comprehend what the conversation is about. So, but I personally would say that the reading examination as well is an easy one because all answers are really just in front of you. That's the same goes as the listening examination. That's why for the 4 examinations, we can subdivide that into 2. The listening and the reading are your receptive skills, meaning to say you're just receiving information and jotting down what the right answer is. And then the speaking and the writing are your productive examinations, because if you don't know English or if you don't have any idea at all regarding the topic, you can never produce an output. So that is why I'd say the writing and the speaking are the tougher parts of the examination. Whereas listening and reading, that's going to be a breeze for you. So let's talk about the listening examination first. Technically speaking, all across the globe, the examination will start at 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., you are already seated in the venue. 10 minutes, you will be given preparation time. Another 10 minutes will be dedicated into the opening of the materials, because materials are sealed and are only opened on the actual day of the examination itself. Preparation of the materials, distribution of the materials, and giving of general instructions. The listening examination itself will only span around 25 to 30 minutes of pure audio listening. The listening examination has 4 sections. Section 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then there are 10 items per section, meaning to say there are 40 items in the listening exam. Now, the degree of difficulty again is incremental. From the onset, from sections 1 and 2, it's plainly listening. You just have to listen attentively and write down that particular item mentioned. In the 3rd and 4th sections, you are no longer just listening, you also need to comprehend the situation. And starting from section 2 and the rest of the other sections, there will already be use of synonyms and paraphrases. It may not be as it is stated in the conversation. Now, you will be given a test questionnaire and a test booklet. You will finalize your answer in the test booklet. You can write anything, you can scribble, you can even write down every single thing you want, so long as it helps you in answering the listening exam. You can do that in the test questionnaire. But of course, I don't advise you to do that. You just have to be very selective as to what are the important things you need to write down to remind you of, to give you hints as to what really is the exact answer to the specific question or the item. You are not allowed to go out of the test venue to answer the call of nature in between the exams. You can only go out and go to the toilet while the exam is in progress. Meaning, while the audio clip is being played, that's the only time you can go out to the toilet, and not in between transition from the listening to the reading exam. So I suggest that prior to starting the listening examination, you have to go to the toilet and compose yourself, answer the call of nature, so you can be ready to take your listening examination. Anyway, that's just 40 minutes all in all. Now, there would be a gap of around 10 minutes in the collection of the test paper and the distribution of the reading examination. As the reading examination starts, you can already go to the toilet once the timer starts for that specific exam. So for the reading examination, it's good for 40 items and that is answerable in 1 hour. You have 3 sections. Section 1 is a bit easy because again, you just have to make use of skimming and scanning, looking for the specific words that will direct you to the right answer. Whereas the sections 2 and 3, it already would require you to really understand the paragraphs given to you. Now, another thing is that section 2 and 3 already has a lot of distractors like words, unnecessary enumerations, topic sentences are jumbled. It's not the predictable type where it is written in the first sentence of the paragraph. It can be anywhere else. And then questions are mentioned in a profound or in a more complicated way. And by the way, the listening examination is the same for both academic and general training. Whereas for the reading examination, you already have different materials for academic and general training. General training is really geared towards checking how well you can make use of your language in an everyday situation. Whereas for academic, it's already about how well you can understand topics that are taken from scientific journals and books. All right, now let's talk about the writing examination. Basically, the writing task 2 of general training and academic are the same. It's essay writing. Now, for task 1, general training only is about letter writing. It can be formal, informal, or semi-formal, so long as it's all just about letter writing. Whereas academic, it's already about data description. I wouldn't say it's data interpretation because you are not asked to interpret the data. You're only asked to lay down the data you think are important for the reader to know. Last examination is the speaking examination, which is good for around 10 to 15 minutes. There are also 3 tasks in the speaking exam. Task 1 is the easiest part, again, incremental in nature. So task 1 is just about yourself, your favorites, your likes, dislikes, your hometown, your family. Task 2 is a time-bound speech. You're given 1 minute to prepare and 2 minutes to talk about the topic. You'll be given a cue card where you have listed questions as your guide to come up with a coherent speech regarding the topic. Now, task 3 is the make or break round because it's the more difficult parts which require you already to talk about how well you balance your opinion and how well you support your ideas. So we'll talk about that in a different video as well. So basically, as a recap, we have 4 components: listening, reading, writing, speaking. Listening and reading are your receptive skills. Both skills do not require criteria, just constant practice with technique application. And then we have the productive skills, the writing and speaking examinations. They require criteria. It already is about your English knowledge coupled with technique application. So techniques and writing and speaking are very important, and we will talk about that in a different video. So I hope you've learned something about the orientation on the IELTS examination for today. If you have further questions, please write down in the comment section below, and I'd be very happy to answer that. And if also you can watch the rest of my videos so you can get to have an idea and a better perspective in your preparation for the IELTS examination. Thank you and have a good day.